Ooh, good morning, y'all. It was a great weekend. I hope you all had a good weekend. I have a lot to talk about today, and honestly speaking, I am not really sure how to broach this without feeling a certain way because I don't know if I'm angry at this point. I think I'm just disappointed with how right Nick was about everyone and everything with this social experiment of his. I think that a lot of people proved him right because he did say years ago that he could do something like this and that it would be just as everybody said. And it didn't disappoint. People that I like to watch had stuff going on, and let me get this rolling, you know, with their takes on it because he's the flavor of the month now, maybe a little longer depending. Normally on YouTube, you're just the flavor of the week. But then you got people who literally are calling him a genius now, saying he won. Treating this like this was the best thing that happened to the internet. And let me pause right here with the Dame Drops thing because I said it on the Fitbong a couple of weeks, well, maybe even last week. The Dame Drops is another one that I used to watch because he did food reviews. Then he revealed that he has diabetes and he's in a bad way health wise. But the views are so important to him that he's back to doing what he's making the money from. And even he's praising Nick because right now we are in the ass kissing phase of this social experiment. And I've got opinions on this that I didn't do this weekend like everybody else. And it's not because I wanted to be cool or I thought that I'm better. No, I actually went out with my family. I had a really good time up north. We got to see this town that looks like it's something out of little Bavaria. It was very nice. Then we almost got lost trying to get back. We ended up going further up north. We almost hit the UP. So it was a fun time. Then yesterday was D&D and football. So yeah, I prioritize my home and my privacy and all that stuff that these mukbangers and YouTubers who make themselves the personalities love to talk about having, but are open, ugly books, basically. But you got guys like Name Dropped. You got a lot of people who at first called Nick out for his bullshit. And now, oh, he was always smart. I always knew. I always backed him. And it's like, okay. Even if I believe a few people who have been that way about Nikacado, there were a lot more that called him out constantly. I know I called him out last Friday because Saturday we were up north. And one of the things I want to do first and foremost is apologize. The fact is, I got a couple of things wrong when I called him out. One of the things that I got wrong was the fact that I didn't think he was being friendly with Candy anymore and that he used her. Apparently, they did a mukbang together, which I'm going to get to later on down the line in this rant. But I was wrong. Apparently, they still keep in contact. He still visits her. So I can admit when I get things like that wrong. Second thing, the biggest thing I got wrong was the fact that I thought he was still fat. Point blank, because of his little experiment, the thing that people are now praising him for, we know he pre-recorded a lot of videos and he was using those, and I'm going to get to it in more depth on Saturday's Live. I wanted to get this video out of the way though, to get my thoughts collected about everything I think about this experiment of his. But the fact of the matter is, he taped for what he said was about 2 years of him acting out of pocket so that when he came back, he could show us that, yeah, you thought this about me. So I was wrong about that. And I could be wrong. I'm not saying that I was, because we don't really know. It's all whatever Nick wants to feed you about his financial situation. Now, I used to call Nick a financial genius when comparing him to Chantal, especially because I thought he was making good enough money to where he could live comfortably for the rest of his life. But when I watched that video from 4 months ago, which now we know was probably 2 years ago, where he was complaining about not having the money and what can he do about jobs and stuff, I thought he went the same route as most locals and girl world types do when they get a bunch of money and they piss it away. So I can admit to those three things, I was definitely wrong in with calling him out on Friday. But when I watch people praise this man for what he did, when he spent years making shit tons of money, highlighting poor choices, taking a culturally relevant thing like mukbangs used to be, because it was a South Korean traditional thing for people online who didn't have like friends or family to eat with, to sit and eat and talk. And I don't understand the appeal of mukbangs. You never get me to understand that. But I do see how Nick influenced a lot of people that watched him get big views, big numbers, and big money from eating copious amounts of fast foods. And Nick isn't going to stop the mukbangs. Sure, he might eat stuff that's a little bit more keto friendly, a little bit healthier now, but he's still going to show excess eating, large plates of noodles, which the video that I'm going to highlight on Saturday will show. The candy mukbang, which I guess people are praising because he ate a normal portion, but they're still glorifying a very dangerous lifestyle. And I say this as somebody who, well, I'm not a weight loss channel. I've made that clear to people. I am a commentary channel who just happens to be working on my health. And I show things like Fitbongs to counter the mukbang craze. Because I would rather you see me exercising at my size and doing a steady path to a healthier life than to play around. I also show the visible damages that being formerly 500 plus pounds has done to me, because it's not a joke. And that was something that I've heard and listened to in other people's chats and stuff. How people are like, well, he did this to himself, but how do we know he didn't damage his organs? How do we know internally, while he looks thin, and a lot of people are already equating that he's healthier, he's a Machiavellian villain, which is his own words. He wants to be the villain of this story now. How do we know that Nick is healthy? And we don't. We can't. That's probably something he's never really going to share unless he knows it'll get him views. Because need I remind you, as a commentator, I know the boundary between putting what I want in my life up there and keeping part of my life away from the internet, versus people who this is their job. They make money online, and it's about getting in that algorithm, getting enough of a fan base to where no matter how you act up with your antics, people are going to watch you, and getting other people like commentators like me to talk about you, which you can see from this slideshow. Nick's been successful in that. Point blank, the thing that's bothered me the most about this experiment of his is that there are people struggling, and he has a large platform of people that not only want to emulate him because they want to be the next millionaire who stuffs their face in mukbangs, gains a ton of weight, and then maybe loses it if they don't kill themselves doing it. But it also puts a spotlight on so many people who struggle with EDs. And I know Nick's not responsible for that. I can hear the Charles Barkley PSA that he did years ago in my head when I think about that. But that's not how the world works. Even if Nick didn't want to go out of his way to influence people negatively or in their minds positively in regards to what they eat and how they achieve fame and status, he did influence a lot of people. And there are a lot, millions of people, myself included, that had to struggle with disordered eating and getting my life back together. And the whole reason why I never wanted to make my channel solely about what I'm doing to get my weight down to a healthier status is because I know that I don't do it the same way. I don't have the jab. because I don't think medicine or shortcuts or rapid weight loss will work for me. Every time I've gone through that, I've gained it back double, if not triple. Also, I always advise people get a doctor. If you can, get a dietitian that will work with you within cultural and your mental parameters and mental health help, because it's important when you are trying to change your life. It shouldn't be about dieting. Another thing is exercise, which I know a lot of people like to mock, because you got people like Glitter and Lasers who show like these weird videos where they're allegedly getting fit and they're sponsored by these people, and then you realize, oh, that's why this video was done, and you're not seeing weight loss. And I tell people all the time, with me, even though I feel what I've lost, and I can visibly see now the difference between where I was at 5'12" and where I am now, it's still a rough road. It's still working with the people in your support system to keep going when you have days where it's just like either depression or just being tired hits you. It is not an easy road. And when I see somebody who has such influence, who has such a large platform now being praised because, oh, he's thin now, he won, as that thing keeps saying, it really does burn me a little bit, because there are so many people struggling with it, not just weight, but image issues, with wanting to be relevant in a already vast landscape of YouTube. And it really is harder now than it was years ago, where you could just be a stupid prank channel, or you could shove a bunch of food in your face, or pretend to be a weight loss channel and then just be all messy in your love life and your homekeeping and everything else. Nowadays, when you want to bring the real, you have to hope that people don't accuse you of ending up like Chantel or Nick or Candy or Anna or ALR. It's fucked up. And then when you got crazy bitches like me, who I show you the damage that I've done to myself, because I want people to understand the realities of changing your life from this. This isn't like my 600-pound life, where you see only the bad, a little bit of the good via weigh-ins, and then an after where they hopefully don't die from the damage that they did to themselves with all that weight. I hope that as I continue to be on YouTube doing my thing alongside my actual career, that people see the realities of changing your life and steadily losing weight, because honestly, I don't think we're going to get that from Nick. I think that he made this point, and a lot of people that used to be detracted to him already turned it around, and now it's laissez-faire for everybody to be giving him ass pats and head pats and ass slaps for what he did. But I can't do it, and I have a personal reason why I can't do it. Now, 31 Frames, who is my exclusive editor right now, and I talked, and I'm going to bring up this quick video that they did to highlight some of the reasons I was going to, at first, start featuring Nick's nonsense to call it out. Because one of the things that we had talked about was the fact that even her young kid knew about him, and it was kind of off-putting. And it was like, it's because of the size of his platform. YouTube back in the day especially didn't think about restricting it. And honestly, it is really still hard. Even if you put your stuff for adults, if enough people are watching, like a parent is watching, I can't stop their kid from seeing stuff, even though I am always going to be marked adult. I cuss. I talk about real topics. And monetization, while it's nice, is not my... This is extra income for me. So I don't worry like other YouTubers about being family friendly. I'm not family friendly. But we got together and we were going to do a series of compilations when we thought he was still heifer size. And now that he's not, I think Saturday will probably be one of the last vids, unless he does something so outrageous, that I will show, because I clipped a bunch of stuff from that return. I was always 2 steps ahead, that I feel like really calling out live. But for this video, I'm going to show you the one that we had put together that we were originally going to use for next Saturday. But this one, I feel, highlights how Nick just behaves. And it's sad that we're all in this time where superficial overrides the fact that this man literally made money doing very unhealthy things and made bank off of it. But we're in the digital dark ages, and virality is, I guess, more important than doing things that don't harm your system or influence other people to harm their system. But I'm going to get this fired up because I don't want this video to run that long. And I just want to show you from the you won't believe I'm still alive, the antics that I was prepared to call out with this man. So let's get this fired up. And once again, please consider subscribing to 31 Frames. They archive a lot.
Let's talk about that, right? So I've gotten really fat. I don't know why. I feel like my belly's a little sick, but also I'm like on the edge of it. But yeah, my weight. I know. It's a little fat. I don't know why. My weight is a medical mystery, and it's beautiful. Okay.
And I know now that a lot of people will be like, "It's a stick." Nobody forced y'all to watch this. It was one of the things I seen in Garlic Bread's covering because we all kind of felt the same way. Not only did his comeback on thing come across as really just nasty. And I get it. Being mocked online can make you feel a certain way if you're not like me and don't give a fuck. But the fact that he came back so nasty and calling people ants, and he left it open the way he can go, well, I wasn't talking about my true fans with that. But as I play the video that I'm going to show on Saturday, he meant everybody. Nick doesn't give a fuck about his fans either. To everybody, yous are just consumers of the product that he puts out, and he's his product. And the fact of the matter is, he came back very nasty. And instead of people going, well, okay, great that you lost the weight and you're thin now, you're an asshole, so move on. We're going to see weeks upon weeks of people praising this motherfucker for this shit, and it's beyond me.
I look like shit because I eat like shit, and I feel like shit, and I look like shit because I eat like shit, and I feel like shit, and I walk like shit because I am shit.
And for me, this act with the I'm manic. I'm going to show you how depressing it is to be fat. And I can't say that he's wrong. I don't think all of my mental health issues came from my weight. I'm not stupid. I know that I have family history of that. I just feel that a lot of people, this is what they expect out of fat people. Especially fat people on YouTube. This mania of it. I'm fat and I hate myself. I'm fat and I'm concerned that other people are looking at me. I'm fat and I just can't stop myself. He made a mockery of something that a lot of people do go through. And he's not the only one, but he made the most lucrative career out of it. And that's why it's so dangerous, because other people are going to want to emulate this shit. There's already a young lady, Jelly Bean Sweets.
I'm really all over the place. I'm like freaking spastic. Like, we are having Burger King breakfast right now. Now, whose fault is it that the gas is spiking, hiking up? Whose fault is it? I need to know. Whose fault is it that the gas prices are going up? Biden's? Whose is it? You know, it's so funny. And here in America, I don't know, a lot of international viewers. Here's the news. Sorry, I'm talking too much. As you can see, my brain's really crazy. I have a meeting today at 2 o'clock. It's 10:45 right now. I have a meeting, and I need to be sharp-minded. Okay, let's do a little thumbnail. I just love breakfast.
He was always a businessman. Thumbnails, eating unhealthy breakfasts. I wouldn't be shocked if once this fanfare about him losing weight dies down, we'll get those what I eat in a day videos and other bullshit. You know, I love being online, but I think there's a fine line between having fun online and being chronically online. I'm one of those old heads that don't have an Instagram, don't have a TikTok, barely go on my socials. And when I do things like Twitch or YouTube, I stay on focus on what I want to talk about, and then I keep it pushing. But with these people that literally live their lives online, you can see where the patterns are going to go with it. And it's kind of sad.
So fucking much. So anyways, they want to accept me at the drive-thru. They said any mobile orders, you have to come in. And they thought that I was Uber Eats or something, or Postmates, or DoorDash, whatever. And they made me come in, and I didn't think at first. I was like, I should be like, I'm sorry, I'm crippled. I'm sorry, I have a heel spur going on. I can't walk. Or I'm gonna come in, but I'm positive, but I'm still allowed to eat and buy food. How about I stay in the car for everyone's safety? I should have come up with a little lie. Let's do.
Social anxiety isn't a joke. And I know I'm laughing because it's kind of like the rage is building up in me, and the only way to expel the anger I just felt at listening to him say that is to give a little laugh. But the fact that he was like, I don't want to go inside the restaurant, I should have made up a lie to say that I can't really walk, I'm immobile. It's just like, this is how he made his name, his platform. This is how he made millions. And yet, all weekend, I seen people really pat him on the head because, oop, now skinny, all's forgiven. Ignore the fact that he acted like this. Let's give him praise. And like I said, you can praise the weight loss. There's nothing wrong with recognizing possibly the hard work, because I'm not going to speculate on how, because he hasn't told us how. Do I think his face might have looked like he took the jab? Sometimes. But we don't know. He's older now, too. There's a lot of factors into why he looks the way he does. And I think a lot of it was him trying to portray himself as medicine, too. Because it does make him look creepier now. That he's like leering into the camera, talking about, I'm the villain, and whatever.
My breakfast burrito. Anyway, so I had to go in like a peasant and it was actually fine. Maybe I am a food addict. Maybe I am. But like I said, that's at 2 o'clock.
Maybe he is a food addict, he says. But now we know, all of us dum-dums as he's dumped us, all of us nobody ants as he's dubbed us, that he didn't more than likely suffer from all of this. And then he talks about his 2 o'clock appointment, which is probably him alluding to therapy. But I just feel like he's making a mockery of stuff that people have really gone through and are currently going through. And it's fucked up.
So, have a couple hours to get some energy. I'm so, it's not good for the meeting right now. My brain, I'm so ugly. I can't even, you're just watching me eat right now. I had a weird dream about something. Yeah, Vladimir Putin something. I'm so unhealthy. I'll never forget, when I went to Thailand, I got so sick from something. And I was debilitated. That was the one where...
What is with these people going to leave Thailand alone? The Heffer's already lumping around Thailand as it is, and just people are leaving negative reviews on the hotel, which I'm going to say this. I don't care if you troll Foodie. I really don't. You know there's no love lost between me and Chantal. But to fucking leave bad reviews and lack of star reviews on a hotel that all they've done is allow her to stay there, I still think that's fucked up. Don't fuck with people's livelihoods just to get at the heifer. And that's how I feel about that.
Worst sicknesses of my life. I'm so ugly today. Holy shit. It's because I just woke up. I'm swollen. It's just one of it. It's me. We are having breakfast together. So I have a it's my chair all the way back there. I'm just getting so fat. Man, people say on my YouTube, like, I'm sick of this lighting. He's holding up a sign. This is like, let's just like this. There's a lot of wandering souls around over here. Do I look skinny today? Hi. There's a lot of wandering souls. Oh, I think she is either on drugs or mentally ill. So like this. She has an itch. I just itchy little tongue. Mentally ill or drugs. Anyway, I remember in Los Angeles, that was before I was watching people in the comments got mad at me for mentioning homeless people, but not going out to give them a 5-course meal. I'm like, wait a minute. You want me to get out of my car and go up to these people because they may come or, I don't know, attack. I mean, all the people who commented that have never done that themselves. I've always talked about that, right? So I've gotten really fat. Half this world has men with big bellies. We're not going up to saying they're dying. There's people who have bellies and they live till they're 88 years old, you know. And there's people that are all healthy, they only eat organic, and they're skinny, and they live till they're...
First of all, I'm going to say this. There's no rhyme to reason on who lives and who dies. We learn all the time as we watch people that we grew up with pass, as we watch people even in our commentary sphere who I feel should still be here versus people like ALR or Chantel who are literally throwing their lives away for their addiction. But to say that you've seen people with huge bellies at 88, you're lying. There's no fucking way. A lot of people. I will be lucky, even though I feel like I'm turning shit around. if I get past 60 or 70 because of the shit I did to myself when I was younger. And that's a reality that I have to live with, that I work through with therapy, because it is a living thing. I self inflicted a lot of my issues. And I would be lucky if I had turned things around with exercise and changing what I put in me to live a little bit longer. But there is no guarantee. But what was so dangerous about past Nick, as we're calling him now, is he put shit like that out there. And I'm telling you right now, I ain't never seen no 80-year-old with a big ass gut, hyper, super, or like I used to be, mega morbidly obese. This is dangerous. This is literal medical misinformation, and it could put people in harm's way. But we're all giving him head pats now. I don't think so. And this is why.
89. They live one extra year. Alright, I'd rather live a couple years less to enjoy my life. Got a whole wave of new people on my channel recently, which is whatever, but honestly, what helps me get through is just I don't read the comments anymore. I'm done. I stopped reading the comments. But yeah, my weight. I know. It's a little fat. I don't know why. My weight is a medical mystery. And it's your fault. Okay. I'm making sure the doors are locked. I've had a scene from like a zombie movie of someone going bang, 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 bang. Alright, it must be drugs. Or it could be schizophrenia. She's still there. God, what do you do in situations like that?
Somebody with schizoaffective disorder, you can shut the fuck right up with that. I just, like I said, him making a mockery of things that people are really going through, whether it's homelessness, drug addiction, mental health, is one of the main reasons why you will never see this channel giving this man praise for his antics. Like I said, happy he lost the weight. If he's doing it the right way and getting healthy, more power to him. But I don't have to give him props because this is who he is. This is how he built his platform. This is the shit he put out there for years. Making a mockery of things that people are really going through. And now he's back. And he's even more of an asshole. So I don't get. But okay, it's not my channel for other people. This is my channel, and this is why you're never going to get that out of me, per se. Because it has to be more than just, I came back skinny, kiss my ass, I hate all of you, yous are all beneath me, yous are consumers, yous are ants. Because when you couple it with this shit, it's just like, why are people giving him so much praise when this is who he is? Fat or skinny, he is still a self-centered, narcissistic asshole. And I know, we throw that term around too much, Ted. Well, not everybody's narcissistic, but there are a lot of people that show those tendencies on YouTube. There are a lot of people that it's all about them, and fuck how they influence people. Fuck how they make people feel when they come back and act the way they do. Because it's all about him, and we're all just here to consume, right?
Anyway, I'm so sorry. Well, it tastes better. Yeah, hands down. This is good. It's kind of dry, actually. You know why? Because there's potatoes in here. I got a slight little cheese pull. I saw that. I saw that, Mr. Big. But your buddy, Mr. Little. The small is nice and light. I prefer them smaller, definitely. Yay. Ooh. And look at all. Ooh.
The sexual innuendos, too. And I mean, if his stuff was geared to just adults, live and let live. I don't give a fuck. That's normal, you know? People act like adults don't get it on and stuff. But because his platform was so large and there was a vast number of all ages exposed to this, the inappropriate jokes just hit a different way for me. I'm just saying.
Still, guys, I do prefer uncut. I don't like certain things that creep me out.
Oh my gosh.
Is the lighting okay? I literally had 1,000 times yesterday. For a 350-pound body, that's bad. Did you ever see House of Cards? You know, one of the scandals of the last season of the second.
That looks nasty.
It was this company that was trying to get people to download their app because they were tracking their photos, tracking their text messages secretly. But there has to be a reason why companies will give out free food and all these discounts for what? Using an app. Okay, but why do they want to use an app? How they can remind you with little notifications.
Lord, it is too early in the morning for this rambling. What am I doing with my life?
How are you guys doing? You doing okay? We're gonna take a big road trip.
Are you doing okay?
But just think of something.
Leave Jollibee alone.
I've never seen Naples. I've heard about Naples. I've been in Naples. Beautiful beach. And there's a part of me that really wants to show my belly off. Isn't that weird? Probably not. Like, I used to be so embarrassed about my weight when I was growing up, as most kids are. And now I'm just like, yeah, look at this big belly. I wish all my loved ones would know this. Just be normal. Just speak normally how I am. Just be fat. I just don't enjoy. I mean, I could. But then I love all the trees in this section. You guys, sometimes I feel like I'm not doing enough, and sometimes I feel like I do so much, I'm gonna break. So I was just telling you about some of the comments, which I don't really read, I don't care about, but, you know, everyone's like, I don't like one here. It does not bother us. It does not bother me at all. But it's just...
He reads everything. That's why he came back swinging about the nasty people and all the hate he's being left, and how, yeah, sure, he gets some positive comments from people like in the UK saying that they like the food because they don't get it there. He reads all of them. Why lie? I read my comment section when I get the time. I try to go back and respond when I can. I just don't understand trying to act like you're too cool for the comment section. They're there for a reason. They show that people are actually watching your shit. Now, while I won't highlight nasty comments like some people do, unless it's the Heffa sock account, and I always make sure to screen cap that, Foodie, so if you're gonna keep at it, we know your cadence, Sarah Lee. Ridiculous. But all of these people, they do the same things. They talk about, oh, the hate doesn't get to me. I just don't read the comments. I don't need that negativity. Oh, I just don't like the antics and the act. It's always an act. And it's just hard when you just want to bring realness to this site and you're up against so much acting.
Just like, okay, I don't know if I've done enough. I think it was more so for others. I want to do something more positive. But entertainment is positive. I'm letting people take their mind off the shit in their life. This is incredible.
This is not positive.
I started mukbangs when I was 24, 25. I moved to Colombia when I was 23, 24. Oh my god. I think some of you have been around since the Colombia days. I was all skinny, and it's scary. It's just where all that time go. How much time do I have left here? Everything. And, oops, I want to stop for multiple reasons. My health. Being this fat. I get it can be some people. I get it can be a turn on. Look at this big belly, you know. But I don't feel as good as I used to. And I would love to sit in a roller coaster again and fit. But the big thing is too, the older you are and the more weight you have to lose, the less your skin will bounce back. Collagen starts to deteriorate around the age of 30. That's when it starts the journey.
Yeah, I got loose skin. It's a reality.
My 30s and 40s be like, hey, it's time to get skinny and lose weight. It's like, no, I'm gonna have this loose skin. You lose 20 pounds, you lose 50 pounds. Okay, you're fine. But if I have to lose 200 pounds, if you just Google 200 pound weight loss, they are all drooping, sagging on the floor. And there's nothing wrong with people who have loose skin, but come on, let's be real. We all want to avoid it if we could. 200 pounds, I don't know what could happen. So that's a big thing. So look at this cheese sauce.
I'm gonna pause right there because while maybe 20 years ago I would have had that mindset about the loose skin and how it makes you look, when you get to a certain age and you realize that being here is way more important, I'm never gonna be taking like model shoots. I don't like seeing myself in bikini shots or anything weird like that for me personally. And plus, the skin removal surgery is a dangerous surgery. No, I'm gonna have loose skin. It is what it is. I have a partner that loves me. It doesn't matter. I think the problem is we take weight loss on such a superficial route that it has to be about looking good instead of just feeling good and being able to do things and being here longer. And that's one of the things that I want to destroy when it comes to what I'm doing for myself, is that it's not going to be on a superficial basis for me. It is showing you that weight loss steadily and changing your life means doing more, having less anxiety about things, being able to enjoy things in life again. And granted, I'm never going to look like a fucking supermodel. That was never in the cards. But I hate that we take weight loss, especially serious weight loss, from those of us who have struggled with really bad obesity, to saying things like, oh, now you just gotta get to looking better. And it's like, I'd rather just feel better. I don't know about y'all, but for me, feeling better is way better than looking a certain way for people, because I just don't seem to see that in my life. I don't.
We're gonna keep this car clean, you guys. Get the car again. Well, that's that. I feel like I don't want to go. I think I'm talking to a friend. I need to save my voice. Such today's agenda. Sorry. Oh, I'm just so tired.
I don't do that. I'm talking to friends things. That's weird.
I'm supposed to do this thing with Orlando. We were planning out a skit with Takis. I just don't feel like it. I'm so tired. I'm exhausted. There's just like no energy. And obviously, eating all this junk food takes way more energy to digest it. But I didn't have enough stored energy from yesterday, so I'm tired. You know, that's how it works. What you eat is the energy for tomorrow, because it breaks down.
No.
It gets stored into your muscles.
No.
And it's released the next day for energy.
No.
You eat enough the next day, you'll feel extra tired.
No.
That's how it works. Thanks, me. Amy taught me something back in the day. So I'm just tired. Maybe today I'll just focus on eating a lot. It sounds horrible. This is the cycle of being fat. I'm always kind of like poking at all the other overweight channels. Not like I mean but like oh skinny weight loss channel. Hey, I understand the struggle in that sense. It's like to maintain your weight needs more food, but the more food you eat, the more likelihood you are to gain if you don't burn it. But if you're not eating enough support your basic weight, your basal metabolism, your metabolism will go down, and then you'll be lethargic the next day. You don't have energy, and it becomes a cycle where you're just getting fatter.
That is way too much medical information. I think you get the point. There's only a few seconds left of this. Thank you so much, 31 Frames. Point blank, the whole spiel he just did on metabolism and you got to eat to maintain your weight. And no. I just... I can't guide people. That was one of the things that I had to make clear, even with doing the fit bongs and showing you what I've been doing for myself, showing you pictures of before and after. Since I've left the 500s, the 400s, now the 300s, and I'm into the 2s, to my goal of getting to 2 even. I feel like a lot of people don't understand that there are different makeups, both mentally and physically, that you have to take into consideration, and that you need a support system, whether you get a personal trainer to help you, whether you definitely got to have a doctor on board. You need family that is willing to stick by you and support you. And you've got to have the therapeutic aspects of it, because for a lot of us, it is mental. Because we live in a world with restaurants and fast food. And not everybody's going to be like me and move out to BFE to get away from a lot of those close call temptations that the city had for us. A lot of people don't have the luxury of growing their own vegetables and stuff. So you have to work with mental health people to get to the point where you can be around food, whether it's the holidays or everyday life, and make better choices, where you're not filling the void that depression and anxiety can sometimes give you internally with copious amounts of food. There is no one size fit all to changing your lifestyle. But when you watch people like Nick make a mockery of that, it really is hard to wrap your mind around. But I'm going to get ready to wrap this up. I want to thank anybody who watches this. I want you to understand that this isn't coming from a place of somebody who's just salty about his weight loss. I really do think that if he did it the right way, since we don't know, I'm not going to speculate, congrats to him for that. But when I say that he used his platform for years to elevate dangerous mindsets, to influence other people to chase views doing harmful things to their body, this is why you won't get praise out of me. This is why I think it's ridiculous the amount of people who have jumped on, oh, he's thin now, let's love him, bandwagon. Because if you listen to the stuff he said when coming back, and I will bring this up on Saturday with the video that we're putting together with 31 Frames, you'll see that this was not somebody worthy of praise. But I'll see y'all sometime this week. I got a Fit Bomb coming up. I've got a Tell It Tuesday on Twitch with a special guest. We're going to talk some politics. But for now, I got my cream of wheat and banana in. I'm going to get ready to go get my ass on the bike and get some exercise done, because this is ridiculous. And there's not much more I can say about that. Have a good day, y'all.